every morning before the rush began. She noticed him, the quiet old man who always sat at the same corner table, his hands trembling slightly as he lifted his cup of coffee, while others hurried past. She took a moment to smile, to ask how he was, and to listen, even when his stories wandered. She didn't do it for tips or attention. She did it because it felt right. There was something about offering kindness with no agenda. That gave her mornings meaning. She'd refill his cup without being asked, slip him an extra muffin when she knew he couldn't afford one, and always wished him a good day as if it truly mattered, because to her, it did. She never imagined that these small, ordinary acts would one day become the reason her entire life changed forever. It wasn't a single act of kindness that made the difference. It was the consistency of it. Every morning, rain or shine, she greeted him with that same warm smile and genuine concern. It became a rhythm, a quiet routine that spoke louder than words. She never saw it as something special. To her, it was just part of the job done with heart. But to him, it was a reminder that someone still cared, that he wasn't invisible in a world that often forgets its elders. There was comfort in the familiarity of her voice, in the way she remembered his order without asking. Her kindness wasn't loud or showy. It was steady, dependable, and sincere. What she didn't realize was that these small, consistent gestures were building something powerful. A bond that would soon reveal just how deeply she had touched his life. She never saw the old man as just another customer. She saw him as someone's father, someone's friend, a man who deserved respect, no matter how frail he appeared. While others might overlook him, rushing to serve those who looked wealthier or tipped better, she treated him with the same warmth she would offer anyone. She made sure his table was clean, his water glass full, and his comfort certain. When his hands trembled too much to open the sugar packet, she'd quietly help without making him feel small. That's what dignity is. Not pity, but compassion wrapped in respect. In a world obsessed with appearances, she chose humanity over convenience. And that choice spoke volumes. She didn't realize that her simple act of treating him as someone worthy of honor would become the foundation of a story that would one day humble everyone who heard it. Ben. One morning, everything felt different. The seat by the window, his seat sat empty. She waited, glancing at the door between serving tables, expecting to see his familiar face appear any second. But instead, a group of men in suits walked in, their presence commanding silence. 4 bodyguards surrounded 2 lawyers who scanned the room before asking, "Is there a young woman here named Emily?" The café fell. Quiet. Even the hum of the coffee machine seemed to stop. Her heart raced as they approached her, confusion written all over her face. They handed her an envelope sealed with a golden crest and said the words that left her trembling. "It's from Mr. Thompson." She barely managed to whisper, "He's gone." One of them nodded gently. In that moment, the entire world seemed to pause, and she felt the weight of something far greater than she could understand. Her hands shook as she opened the envelope, the paper crisp and heavy, carrying the scent of something final. Inside was a letter, handwritten, gentle, and full of gratitude. The old man had been more than anyone imagined, a quiet philanthropist who had quietly built schools, funded shelters, and changed countless lives without ever seeking attention. In his final note, he thanked her for reminding him of kindness. The one thing all his wealth could never buy. Attached was a document naming her as the recipient of a life-changing gift, ownership of the very cafe where she worked, along with enough funds to secure her future. Tears filled her eyes as she read his words, realizing that every cup of coffee, every smile, every moment of sincerity had found its way back to her, not as a payment, but as a profound acknowledgement of genuine humanity.